You are now tuned in to the Talk Your Shit podcast.
Yo, welcome to the Talk Your Shit podcast with two dudes and two pretty ladies talking a lot of shit about a lot of shit. Listen, nothing's off limits. You understand me? We talking about everything in this bitch. The world is going crazy, and we gonna talk about it. To my right, I got my man Wizzo. Yes, sir. We got Mara P and Miss Seven. She got her lightsaber. Yes, sir. Yeah, I see you. And I am the captain of your ship. My name is Jo. We got some stuff to talk about tonight. We got the Roe versus Wade. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. We're gonna talk about the Miranda rights law getting stuff to the side or whatever they did to that shit. And we're gonna have a good show for y'all tonight. First we're gonna see how everybody doing because that's what we do. You know what I'm saying? Temperature check. Mara P, how you doing? What's been going on? It's been 2 weeks. So what's up with you?
I'm great.
She's great. That's it. That's all she got. She's
I'm
great.
great.
She's great. Nothing's happened in the last 2 weeks, but she's great.
Nope.
All right. Seven.
I'm surviving.
Okay, she's surviving. She got a lightsaber and she's surviving. We can barely see her face, but that's cool. We gonna get there. We gonna get there. Wink in the building. What's up, Wink?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today, man? I'm here, a little tired, but come on. But everything good though,
Hey, okay,
It is
okay.
what it is. Same shit, different toilet.
Same shit, different toilet. Okay, so should we jump right in it or?
Shit, might as well, man.
I guess we can jump right on it.
Everybody's buzzing.
It's been a lot of talk on the internet. Women, men, all types of shit
Humans,
going on.
aliens.
Man. When Roe versus Wade was overturned this week. If you have not been watching TV or if you don't know, then you must be living in the cave. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just have opinions. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna see what the fuck is going on. We're gonna see what's next because I believe with this decision, it pretty much puts everything on the table. Like everything. Anything that's civil rights related or has anything to do with people of color, I think it's on the table now. Like we've reverted 50 years. We've gone back 50 years. Like it's ridiculous. So we're gonna start with the ladies because it's a ladies
Yeah,
issue. Not really just ladies, but like it's just an issue that we have to tackle. So I believe we can start with the ladies. Mara, Seven, jump right in. Like, how do you feel about the decision? I mean, I know you how you feel about it, but express your feelings to the people. Let them know. Come on, man, let's go. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. You silent?
crickets.
Hey.
Oh, no, okay.
They just getting their thoughts together because they got a lot of them. I promise you that.
So,
They got a lot of them. I promise you that.
so, essentially, I'm sorry. We got some extra.
We got some stuff going on over there. Yeah.
But no, essentially, the country has further reversed history and walked back to like
72, I think it's.
1856 or something like that. I mean, regardless of where anyone sits, it's very clear that something like this will pretty much change the scope of everything because then everything is challenged. We have instead of a Supreme Court who wants to uphold the law, we have a Supreme Court that's essentially trying to create law and be political about it. So.
Mara?
No, I just want to send a special shout out to all you nice white ladies who came down to DC with your pink pussy hats on and we're all about women empowerment and then 56% of you took y'all asses to the polls and voted for someone who literally said his main objective was to overturn Roe versus Wade, and then y'all go, "Oh my God, Roe versus Wade is overturned."
That's an excellent point, because all of this is remnants of the Trump administration.
So, shout out to y'all. Y'all did a bang up job. Y'all really did.
Like,
Shout out to you. Good job.
this whole entire year, in my opinion, has been a fallout
Of before.
from the effects of the Trump administration.
So you got a lot of people who blame. So I feel like a lot of people who don't really know what the hell's going on with the government and the presidency and everything. They feel like I've seen a lot of people. So I've seen a lot of people from the beginning of the year to now always say, "Well, what is Biden doing? Why is this happening? I want to have Trump back." And I'm talking about people of color, people, women, and I'm sitting there thinking. I sit back and think. I was like, how in the world could you want this racist?
Because people are so focused on people are so
office.
focused on the immediate and what they see. People just
Right, but they don't know how it works, right? So what it is they think that everything bad is happening now. It's a residual of what the fuck happened before, or what was laid beforehand. Like concrete don't dry immediately. You know what I'm saying? Like the shit is residual. It comes later. So yeah, example been in road because they thought it was going to dry quickly and it didn't. But the point is, like, I hear people say, "Man, I wish Trump was back in office," but it's factual that Biden has done markedly better in his first 90 days than Trump. It's a fact. It's a fact. I don't care what anybody say. You look at the numbers. You look at what happened.
Bro, what day are we on now?
Here's the thing.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. When you have a
it's about
president
6
that's in
months.
office for 4 years, at least the first year or two of the next president's administration, you're gonna see the fallout from it.
Like in 2008, perfect example. 2008 when the small depression or whatever hit, and the jobs got fucked up. They blamed. I mean, it had nothing to do with Obama. It was a residual from the Bush board.
Yeah, all that deregulation.
Yeah,
and
all that shit. So
the same deregulation
it took them
we're seeing the
another
fallout from now.
It took them
because,
another year or
niggas
two
don't
to
never
even
learn.
get the shit straight on into the next 4 years. So what a lot of people don't understand, they want instant change. It's not like that. That's not how that works.
Well, not only do they want instant change, but people worry about shit that will not make their lives better. Like, everybody right now is like, "Oh my God, great, they overturned Roe versus Wade."
Mhm.
But bitch, you still live in a trailer park, regardless of whether people can get abortions or not. How did that affect your life? It did not. It did not make your life any better. Like, it did
It
nothing to
doesn't
your
make
life.
anything any better. It doesn't make anything. It makes it.
Like you're worried about stuff that does not have any effect on your life unless it's a service that you intend upon utilizing.
True. So in that sense, I mean, the Roe versus Wade thing, like it. I hear people saying, "Oh my God, that's great," blah blah blah, whatever. But what does it actually do? So you're forcing women to have kids in situations where they might not want to have a kid. Like,
Well, that and the fact that you forcing women to carry a child and it may be life threatening.
and that's true too.
And also, you don't give a damn about the child once it gets here, because the same states that are so pro, yes, bring it back to the states so I can ban abortion and ban contraception, cut the funding for social programs that benefit kids every single year.
True.
So you can't possibly be pro life if you don't give a fuck about the life
The
once
life that you give.
once it starts breathing.
Yeah, because the response is, well, we'll just give them up for adoption. But what child wants to be in the system?
What child wants to be in the system?
There are
What child wants to- so-
424,000 children.
So even
waiting to be
still, like
adopted right
even if so, I've seen even if the the child gets adopted and has a good situation, they still want to know who their parents were at the time, and they want to know why. And no matter what, like I'm not saying you gotta be. I think you gotta be a strong individual and a strong kid growing up to be able to understand the fact that maybe this person gave you up because they wanted a better life for you, but then you can't understand it because that's your blood, that's who you came from, and you can't understand if these other people could love you, why couldn't the person who birthed you love you? And it's not always that, but if you don't have the help or the programs or whatever to help you with this kid that you gotta have because the government say you gotta have it, but I'm not gonna help you. What? Like, I think it's just so the we rule on shit without having a plan. We've seen that time and time again. We rule and we change shit or we do shit without having a plan going forward. So, I go back to when we were talking about transgender in sports and stuff like that. Like, they ruled that the NCAA ruled that these people can go in there without a plan. So that's what they did. Roe versus Wade, they just overturned it without having a plan to figure out what we're gonna do with all these extra kids that's gonna be happening, or these life threatening situations.
They don't care.
He said he wasn't control the intake of the semen. The women are supposed to control the intake of the semen. How you do that? Well, we're not gonna talk about that right now. That's a whole nother show. But but I mean, you know what I'm saying? So you get into this situation where, and understandably, we all have been there where it is what it is, and you just and the situation happens. And some people, like you said, some people are not destined to carry kids. You know what I'm saying? They're not able to carry kids a term or whatever. They get in a bind where it's either them or the baby. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really agree with that. Like, I've always said in my life, as me as an individual, if I get caught in a situation like that, excuse me, I want the person that I'm with, regardless, to have this kid, because I don't believe in that. But also, it is not my body to control, because if that person has something going on with them, or if they just not in the mind space or right mind or whatever to have this kid, like, what are we here for? So we're gonna just make this kid come into the world. These kids don't ask to come in the world. Make this kid come in the world and have a fucked up ass life, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because there are different situations than mine, you know what I'm saying? But I've always said it's your choice because it's your body. It's what you want to do. I don't believe in that, but also now you got Plan B that stops even the production of the baby. That's not even killing the baby. That's just stopping the start. That's stopping the start, and they trying to get rid of that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, literally, what are we doing?
That, and they trying to ban condoms.
Like, what are you? So now we just got to fucking
y'all
and
just have
just
STDs all over the place.
Everything.
I'm like, y'all not making any sense.
This don't make no sense.
I tell you, them red states, they just be.
It don't make no sense.
Out here.
It's
just
smart to them though. I don't necessarily agree with it either. It's definitely a woman's choice. Like, my number one problem with this whole Roe versus Wade being overturned, you got to deal with the conception of kids that through rape. That's my biggest thing.
Incest, rape,
like,
all that stuff. Like, that's a big. Or even, like I said, even the people that got problems.
You know what I'm saying? To tell these young women or women in general that you have to be reminded of this tragic experience on a daily basis when they look at their child. you know, it's granted, you know, children are beautiful, but just to be reminded in that realm is just like, oh man, like yeah, and just the hate, you know what I'm saying, or the resentment that they would have towards that child, and just knowing that they didn't have a choice, you know, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of it at all. Yeah, that's all I.
I
Have to say
think
about
any
that.
I
That's
think
all
any
I got.
respectable man, and I'm not, I can't talk with all men, but I believe that I can say for any respectable man who is a man and who respects women can say that this affects this ruling is not, it's just awful. Like, it's an awful ruling because I've grown up in a house with a lot of women. I'm the oldest of three siblings. I got three sisters, three younger sisters. I got a stepmom. I got a mom. I got a daughter. You understand what I'm saying? So, um, being in a household where women are, you see the challenges women have every day, and to 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 make a woman like a woman, man, it's just tough. Like, cause they don't, in that kind of situation, a woman could just be walking down the street, minding her own goddamn business, and just like bringing groceries to her husband or whatever, or trying to tend to the kid that she has, or whatever the case may be, or even just not have anybody but planning something for her future to be happily married first, and then have a kid and have a whole family, white picket fence and everything. That 5 minutes of somebody coming and just take their shit, everything's wrong because now they have to. It's wrong in the first place because they have to deal with that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
But then you gotta deal with the trauma, and then you gotta deal with this baby that you have to have. And you got to deal with the trauma of seeing it, like when he said, seeing this baby every single day. And maybe you did give him up for adoption. Maybe that's an option. Okay. So we're gonna give him up for adoption. But then,
But who's to say
the
that
kid,
that kid's gonna have
exactly,
a wonderful life?
a wonderful life? Because now the kid, it's so many kids in the system already.
425.
That and the fact that people like using the foster care system.
It's a check.
Yeah, they don't really be caring about that. Oh,
Like I looked at a
stories.
post two days ago, and somebody was essentially her post amounted to like picking a child like she had a candy shop. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, like it's just. I mean, what it is it's just like when. So growing up, my daughter, damn, not my daughter, my sister who's right under me. She had a kid at 16. She, they, it's her first time. She got pregnant, and I believe if she did not have the support system that she had with my father, my stepsister, my father, and the house that she was, and stuff like that, it would have gone a lot different. You know what I'm saying? But just think about it now, like the kid. I mean, kids make mistakes every day. Like we can't make a permanent decision off of temporary emotions. We say that all the time, but I think that's what's happening right now. Everybody's like, oh, don't kill kids, but Plan B ain't killing kids. It's not.
Well,
Condoms are not killing kids.
Well, first of
what
all,
it is preventing.
embryo is not a
It's
kid.
catching.
It's making sure that we don't
It's
even.
catching.
It's catching
It's
it's catching the spillage, right?
controlling.
It's controlling the
Controlling the intake.
But
It's controlling the intake, right? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, but again, it's like we just said, yeah, and let's do this, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, how are we gonna take care of them? What if they go for adoption, or what if this person has permanent trauma, or what if this kid had permanent trauma? Because a lot of, never mind, we ain't gonna get into that. But
I don't even think it's about a plan. To be honest,
they don't have a plan.
It's not even. I think a lot of the times when I listen to politicians go back and forth, it's for me, it's coming off as if you just want to one up this person at the detriment of everybody else.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, that's like, of course, you know, everybody in Congress who supports this, or these red states who support this, they don't have to worry about it unless they go get their mistress pregnant. They don't have to worry about
Nope,
it.
because they go right to that Planned Parenthood.
You know,
in
they
Washington,
going to go
D.C.
to their.
Don't act like y'all don't know where it is.
Exactly. They want to go to the spa and get everything taken care of. Meanwhile, black women in Mississippi are going to be the ones that suffer the most.
But you know what? I feel like this, right? And it this is what boggles my mind, right? So 16-year-old rape victim, 15-year-old rape victim, whatever, incest, 12, don't matter, right? If a 16-year-old wanted to adopt a child, right? You would say absolutely not. You have nowhere to take care of this child. You're not emotionally mature enough to take care of this child.
You don't have the means. You don't have the job.
Exactly.
You got none of that shit.
You come down with 30 goddamn reasons why a 16-year-old cannot adopt a child, but you want a 16-year-old to push out a rape baby, and somehow you think that that's better. How?
A rape baby, an incest baby, even I don't want to call any babies mistakes, but pleasant surprises.
Pleasant surprises.
You know what I'm saying? At certain ages, it's just like, again, I just go back like my sister, and the thing is, like, my sister's made some mistakes, and we all have made. I've had some scares. I don't lie to you. I've had some scares. Plan B has been wonderful to me.
Lord.
But you know, it's like, you know, you got some people out here that just say, you know, whatever. But like, I don't know, it's just really, really good.
Not everybody
That's
got
hilarious,
it like
right?
Nick Cannon.
That's hilarious, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Not to worry. They're gonna fly them to that Planned Parenthood in D.C. that I was telling you about, that they all go to anyway.
Exactly.
Y'all said, hey, yeah, for real. Hey, listen. Nah, go ahead. So we not gonna. I'm gonna talk about that later because the names are funny. But yeah.
But besides that, medically though, like, let's say that no one underwent a traumatic experience. And, you know, this was like a wanted pregnancy, but it ends up ectopic.
Explain to people what that means. Everybody here don't know what ectopic.
So an ectopic pregnancy is when.
No, I knew. I was literally stretching my.
I'm just saying.
It's when a fertilized egg implants instead of in the uterus
and the fallopian tube. Oh yeah.
This
they can't carry that, right?
First of all,
no.
Okay.
If it goes untreated,
Death.
both of them will die. The fetus is never going to survive because that's not the environment in which a fetus can develop.
It's a
period.
Body in the body.
Right. So.
It's a dead issue. Oh,
and
bruh.
and should your fallopian tube rupture, you will hemorrhage to death.
Die.
Right.
You will die. So, I don't know who in Congress needs to hear this, but it's impossible to take an ectopic pregnancy and put it in a uterus. That's not how any of this works. If y'all would just, listen to the doctors that come to testify every other fucking day on Capitol Hill, y'all
apparently they
know
don't
that.
even know how with the whole
process. But that's right. That's
menstruation process.
So the thing is, the people that ruled upon this.
You know what? If you don't like
That's
periods,
like-
just stop having them.
that's
That's all you gotta
that's
do.
like-
I think most of the people who did this, we all understand that if you look at the Supreme Court, everybody who ruled on this is not fertile. Like, they own this shit. Like, none of them are having any babies anytime soon. So they're not in touch with the world. You know what I'm saying? They're not in touch. So I feel like if you're not in touch, how can you rule on something that you're not in touch with?
No, they are fully in touch with the world.
Yeah,
The problem
they in
is that Christian extremism here is how America would have you to believe that Muslim extremism is in other places.
Yeah,
They are
that's
the
true.
exact same.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Good point.
That's a fact.
Good
because
point.
because
Good
like
point.
in all these states they're like, oh well, God said, well, God said.
Mhm.
So and it's like and it's Christian extremism because
Mhm.
They pick what they want.
right,
But
they
that's
pick what
been
they
going
want.
on. That's
That's
been
been going on.
since slavery.
But
Yeah.
if
Since
if
they
you're
done
doing,
yank people up off the continents.
Yeah.
but since
Yeah.
we're talking about violation of this right and that right, that violates people's freedom of religion because if you're Jewish and you have
That's
an
what it
ectopic
was.
pregnancy,
Prayer in schools.
Their-
That was the other one.
their religion requires you to perform an abortion because in their religion, the life of the mother who is living will always come first.
Take precedence.
It takes
Yeah.
precedence.
It takes precedence.
So
Yeah,
you
right. So
can't-
even if you're having trouble at the time and they say you can't, it's no decision as to whether you want the baby or the person. It's the person.
So how
It's already here.
right? So how can you tell me that I can't do something based on your Christian beliefs and I don't subscribe to your religion?
These are the same people who was taking the Bible and keeping black people enslaved with the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Because they twist.
Right.
So that's the thing. That we can't. We religion.
What's up,
and
KJ?
you can't.
I mean, that's true.
But it's true. Hey, KD in the building. KD Jr.
That's true.
What's up, cuz?
We're
you
not saying
chime in,
that
give me
every
some
Christian is a
comments,
Christian
Ken.
zealot. We're just saying that.
But that's true. I mean, it's true. Like, I think a lot of people, or a lot of religions, or a lot of Christianity, or branches of Christianity, off of it, take what they want from the Bible and institute it, or try to interpret it the way they want to.
But
These
wait,
evangelicals.
but wait till they find out, child.
These
That when they
evangelicals.
said that they will allow religion in schools, that the Satanic Temple is gonna be up in that bitch. Oh, they're gonna have a whole.
They gonna have a whole Holy Ghost for real. There's gonna be some problems and some issues and
Wow.
some stuff going on. Like, but yeah. So to reach on that fact about the Christianity, what did you say? What you call it?
Christian extremism.
Christian extremism. It is real. It is real. Like
Super
and the way you put it together, like that was brilliant because it's right. Because like there are people out here like, and they will pick and choose. But see, that's the thing. They'll pick and choose exactly what they think should be
It's not
harped
even
on
what
more
they
than
think.
the other, right?
It's not
So,
even what they think. It's like.
but I think it is
like
what they want to use.
what they were taught. Like
What's up,
I'm
cuz?
like these old white men, their old white daddies and granddaddies, they at the knee they've been taught that mess.
Well, that's true too.
Yeah, so they don't even. It's like they don't even think for themselves.
Mhm.
They haven't. They
It's
just.
a cult. Ooh, don't say that.
Well, you
Don't
said
say
it.
that.
You already said it. So.
Don't let the people hear that. But it is sort of. I mean, because so. I've seen it a lot of times. You know, you get people they come in and be like, "Oh my God, you should." So, you know, when you be at stores and you get the ladies to say you need to do this and you need to do that. You need to do like how do you know I don't do that in the first place? Like why are you just assuming? Because I don't go to your church, or I need to come to your church, or I need to come and believe what you believe and do everything that you do.
So
Nah, I'm not. That's not how that works for me.
it's I saw a post yesterday, as a matter of fact. I was on Instagram, and it was going into like religion and things of that nature. And I'm not going to touch on it too much, but it was funny because the way that religion is portrayed and set up, like you can literally have like the whole basis of church is to make your community stronger and better.
Right.
But yet you can have on one block you can have 4 churches and don't shit in the neighborhood change.
Mhm.
So what is it? It's basically a money grab. You know what I'm saying? So who's getting fed by this money if the community isn't getting fed? But then you also have these guidelines in which you want your parishioners or followers to follow, and it's the word. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, at what point can you really decipher the difference between an actual message from God Himself and then that pastoral message that is being sent based off of one person's views?
That's a man, boy. You better go ahead and talk it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's wild. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really wild.
But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Because now, like with this whole Roe versus Wade thing, like you literally have one ideology that is being agreed upon by a majority of people that have a say so against everybody in the country, and then it's just like granted, like we don't get to choose the fucking Supreme Court justices. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think that that's fucked up.
And it
You know
also
what I'm
shouldn't
saying?
be a
And
lifetime
It should be a
appointment.
lifetime.
You know what
What makes them so great that somebody else can't be better?
Well, first of
While
all,
they're there,
there's only one person that's actually qualified to be there at this point.
She hasn't been sworn in yet, right?
She got sworn in today.
Oh, she did. But that's
After the fact.
right after the fact.
Yeah, after the fact. But there's only one person that's actually qualified, and she got through by the skin of her teeth, which is remarkable to me because her record is impeccable. But that just goes to show how, especially being a black woman, you have to be perfect to be appointed to the same position as a superbly unqualified white male.
Two.
Oh, I'm sorry, and a superbly unqualified black male as well.
But two of them credibly have been accused of sexual assault. Two of them. Two different Supreme Court justices credibly have been what am I trying to say? God damn, I'm watching the TV. I'm sorry.
Accused of sexual assault. Brett Kavanaugh.
And it's still there.
Oh, shout out to Brett Kavanaugh's neighbor, because you are petty and I love it. I saw you out there dancing to them protesters. I loved it.
and one of them. So here's the thing. Like, at least
we're not gonna get into religion.
At least five of them.
I see your eyes.
You see?
I see him reading that comment.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Oh no, that's my OG. You know what I'm saying? That's my cousin. So you know we have open debates like this all the time.
We get
I
that.
didn't even see
You
that.
know what? But you're right. You're right. And so it is supposed to be exactly what you say. What we're not supposed to do is pay attention to the money grab. We're supposed to do what we're supposed to do.
But at the same token, if I'm getting that collection plate 3-4 times a Sunday,
and we human.
What is it?
We're human. I don't care what nobody said. We're human first. I'm saying, so when you see that, it's really, really difficult. If I see Creflo and all they do is rolling around in Benzes and their congregation still fucked up.
Well,
and stuff like
that's
that.
That's where a problem comes in for me, because there's no reason why people in your congregation should be starving, fucking electricity
but that's what I'm saying.
off,
Like,
no food in the house,
so we're
and
supposed
you
to
rolling around in your third Benz of the year.
But
like,
we're supposed to trust these people.
But how? But see,
and it's hard. It's difficult. It's really, really difficult. It's really, really difficult for you to see past that. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a human being. And maybe I'm just talking I know for me, it's really difficult for me to see past that. Especially when I can sit down in solitude and have a conversation with God myself and hope that we can come to, we can have a relationship without having to, quote unquote, go through a third party. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's not.
I understand. I know.
Okay.
But that's my point. I understand that's not how it's supposed to go, but it's
see,
really difficult for me to see that type of shit going on, and to see even the churches I've been to eventually come up in this whole controversy and money grab scheme, and it's like, damn, I was just there. Like, what did he do with my money? Like, oh my god.
My question
like,
is,
you know
like,
what I'm saying? Like, it's just hard.
but
It's
at
difficult.
what point, as like, okay, so if you see, like, if you as a member of a congregation, I don't belong to any church, so, but if you as a member of a congregation see this shit going on, like nothing, like everybody's tithing like they supposed to, giving their, I think it's what 10% or something like that, giving their 10% or whatever, and nothing happens. They don't throw nary a community event. Not a nothing. Ain't a doorknob on the church. Like ain't a new doorknob. Ain't a new stained glass window. Ain't a new nothing. But like it's 3 more Bentleys in the parking lot. When do you as a congregation come together and go, okay, this is bullshit. What are you doing?
I want to say,
Here we go.
my favorite pastor was retired. Had always driven a beat up Toyota Corolla. So I will say that. But here's my understanding, because I'm PK. So I grew up in a church. I went to a couple of different churches. Some were better than others, I will say that. I will not speak on what was observed by others. But with the last church I attended, what I liked about it was the fact that if I wanted an account of what was being spent, I can always ask for an account of what was being spent. And on the top of that, twice a year, everybody, just like you're supposed to go to your HOA meetings, came into the sanctuary and we went down the list about what and where and how things were being spent. So I do appreciate that. But not every church is like that. Not every church is structured like that. I know there are a couple of churches in the area, like I said, that are better than others, and I'm not going to speak on it. But I also know there are a couple of churches in the area who are actually, providing like housing or giving people a means to purchase. Yeah.
So I agree. So I grew up a PGK, a pastor's grandkid. My grandfather was a pastor of the church. He was a small church, and from the time I went for years, it stayed a small church. People tithed, they did things, but they did different things to help the community. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have bake sales. They gave food. Like they had, you know what I'm saying? Like that, the money, you could see where the money was going. You know what I'm saying? And it helped out the community. So they would have like, they would have cookouts basically or whatever. Like people come and ate it, but you wouldn't have to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like you didn't have to pay for anything. They didn't have bake sales. They had bake sales, but then it went to something else. And then my grandfather drove a old what was that, Joe? Continental or something, whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? And my grandmother drove the same type of thing, Buick something or whatever. But it was like they lived in the same house for all I could know. Same little row house or whatever on Ivy Avenue. You know what I'm saying? And but they didn't. You could see the money at work, and as long as I can see the money at work, I think that's where. And I understand that's not my concern, but again,
I think
it's hard not to. You know what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
I think we need to get off the topic of really, because this can go on for days.
Yeah, it
can.
I really was about to say, like, let's get back to Roe.
Yeah, let's get back to Roe and these pink pussy hat wearing ass.
So let me ask this. So I think we've gotten the bigger picture of the bigger picture of Roe versus Wade. I think we've gotten our opinions out there and stuff like that. So I think. Oh, go ahead.
I will say something that I was glad to see. I was glad to see a lot of young African American males in solitude with our women out at the protests and things of that nature. I saw a couple. I thought they were funny signs, but I did see, they young African American males did, you know, go out there and protest and, like I said, walk in solidarity with our sisters. So I thought that was beautiful. I'm happy about that. I was at work and on my way to my other job too. So that's why I went there. But I thought it was good. I thought it was cool. I thought it was really cool.
I heard, well, you know, they, who was it, Taraji or somebody at the BET Awards, they basically was it Taraji at the BET Awards that said,
well, there are a few people that said something,
but they was like, but they said, yeah, man, we need your help, like,
yeah,
black men, we need your help, we need you to help stand up with us because it's really not just a woman issue.
Yeah, no, it's a human race.
It's an everybody issue. It affects women directly,
Facts.
but it also affects people indirectly. It affects black men. It affects shit. It's gonna affect white men. It's gonna affect everybody eventually, indirectly. But right now, it's about our women. It's about saving them. It's about not having to do stuff that you just don't like. And I don't want to bring it up because I don't want to get into a whole nother conversation. But literally, they are making it easier to get guns than to regulate your own body as a woman.
I'm not even gonna tell you what my theory is.
You understand what I'm saying? Like they making laws to make it easier instead of just saying, "Hey, we gonna make this shit tougher." But they making it easier.
I'm gonna have to tell you what my theory is with that off air.
Okay, good. I don't think the people ready for that.
They not.
It's that whole continue.
But you know, but here's what it opens up, right? So this decision opens up a lot, right? It opens up a lot. I believe it opens up a lot because if they can do that, who else rights can they take away?
They already
took away the So if anybody wasn't paying attention while all this was going on, they took away Miranda rights. They took away the responsibility of cops.
Let's back that up a little bit. So
Okay.
in the concurring decision, Clarence Thomas decided to say that we need to we need to look at banning contraception. And then there was also LGBTQ communities.
Shout out.
They want to be in your bedroom.
Shout out to.
So the floodgates are already open. The floodgates are already open. Like, and then on top of that, there's still an issue with voting rights.
Yeah, definitely.
There'll always be a problem.
Louisiana, what are y'all down there?
So
doing?
it's
what are y'all?
The floodgates are already.
The floodgate. I mean, so what's next?
Open.
Like, what's next? So Miranda rights has been slaughtered. So now you can't sue a cop or the police department or anything for not being for them not being responsible to telling you all your rights.
So basically, if you're arrested, say nothing, which is what any good lawyer would tell you anyway. But just say nothing.
So yeah, if you have no idea, I know this one guy was on the thing. He said just two questions. One question, one statement. Am I being detained or am I free to go? Mm-hmm. And if you're being detained, you ask for a lawyer. If you're free to go, walk away slowly. This is his words. Walk away slowly and go about your business. But you have that right to ask those questions or to get. But you have to know that. And black people, I'm telling you now, please tell your kids these rights. Tell them these rights. Especially if they're under 18. If they're under 18, they gotta have an adult present. They have to have an adult present to be questioned.
Yep.
And if you want to get there and get him a lawyer, you don't have to say anything. You tell them don't say nothing and get a lawyer. I don't give a fuck how I make you look. Get the fucking lawyer.
I just think something like that is just going to open, well, the door's already open, but it's going to make it a lot more easier for officers to abuse citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So there was this one, I saw this TikTok video, right? Not to interrupt you, but I saw this TikTok video where this protester was being chased by this rookie cop, right? Um, and his sergeant ended up stopping him because he's like, "What are you doing?" And he was like, "Well, he was fleeing." He said, "From what?" And he was like, "Well, I was." He was like, he wouldn't give me his ID, and the sergeant was like, "What did you need his ID for?" Like, because I wanted to write him a citation. For what? Trespassing. He wasn't trespassing. It was a public street.
That tells me all I need to know right there.
Yeah,
Like,
it's like
because these people are not. These people. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Man. Go ahead.
So when you sent over the topic for the show, I was unaware of the whole changing of the Miranda rights. So I went and I read a little bit on CNN and whatnot.
Okay,
so
we're going to
it was just so I'm sitting there and
need you to.
And I was sitting there and
What?
I went and read what was actually going on. Y'all throwing me all over y'all.
I'm sorry.
I understand.
What?
I understand. But,
What?
So
Who claims this person?
it was the one thing that kind of was crazy because now with the whole change of the Miranda rights, it changes the law, and now the victim can no longer sue the officer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at when and at what point are we going to hold these public officials fucking accountable?
That's why
You know what I'm saying?
It makes it more
And it was,
easier.
and it is crazy because they've already gotten away with so much in the past, and now it's almost like you're giving them a fucking free pass.
It's really gonna have to come down
Like-
on the responsibility of department heads, like the sergeant. It's gonna have to come down on someone like that particular sergeant to reinforce every day. This is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
This
it's
is what
gonna be
you-
crazy.
But that is not everybody and everywhere.
It's
That's
not.
the-
Definitely
that's the
not.
thing.
Whose
That's the
man's is
problem.
this though? Whose man's is this?
We just
though?
look, sir. We just.
Whose man's is this? Like
I can't read the whole thing.
you don't want to read. You want me to read? I'm gonna read it.
No.
I'm gonna read
no,
it.
We're not interested.
You want me to read
Fighting
it?
and systematically destroying something neighborhood with
Black
drugs.
neighborhood with drugs from Mexico and illegal aliens in our hoods. Wake up.
So I'm gonna make the assumption that this is a Trump thumper.
So the crack
That-
so the crack epidemic in the 80s.
Yeah.
Who was
Happened happened when Biden got in 2020.
Who was president
So
then?
so
Yikes.
systematic destroy black neighborhoods from drugs from Mexico and illegal aliens. Oh, and illegal aliens. Oh, okay.
Build the wall.
So
That's
we
the
talking
script.
about the illegal aliens
That's the
that,
script.
Oh,
that
no.
don't do shit to nobody but try to work. You talking about them people?
No. They talking about the illegal aliens that are taking up all of the benefits that they can't get if they don't have a social security number.
Oh, you talking about the illegal aliens? They must be talking about the ones from outer space, because I don't know who the fuck this is. Yo, whose man's is this for real? Like, for real. Because I don't understand where they...
Did y'all?
And they tell, wait a minute, here's the thing. Here's what's the funniest part of this whole statement. They tell us to wake up. Us to wake up.
Did y'all see the video?
This nigga been asleep till
did-
2020. I don't fucking know. I think so. I think the motherfucker just woke up in 2020.
Did y'all see the camera that they put on the border wall with
Because-
with all the people that were not trying to hop over the wall? Like, that joint was desolate.
Like,
It wasn't even.
I don't even
There wasn't
understand
even a
what's
goddamn
happening
bird
right now.
flying by the camera.
hey,
You hear me?
J-Star, what's happening? I just don't. Child, I don't know who man this is,
Hey,
but
J-Star, how you doing,
it's a
boo?
YouTuber, so somebody on YouTube always want to call some shit. But anyway,
Yeah, but
I'm
nah,
not even
like,
gonna get into that. I'm not even gonna get into that comment because I think that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in a long time.
Yeah, but that whole Miranda rights thing that
It just it starts
it
to break
grinded
down.
my gears.
It starts to break
grinded
down
my
shit,
gears.
right? It starts to break down shit. Like now we're talking about civil rights. Now we're talking about other rights. Now we're talking about just basic human rights. So who are always the ones that don't really know the rights?
Us.
Us. You know what I'm saying? So, just like the
And it's not even the fact that we don't know the rights. Our rights are forever violated.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
So now we ain't have no cover.
Cause
Now we have no cover.
It's always there's always an assumption that we don't know our rights, and then we're being assholes when we do know our rights and we identify and let it be known that no, motherfucker, I know my rights.
Just like the dude. That's like the what you were just talking about your story. Like the guy fled. Okay, he fled. So what did he break? What law did he break? He didn't break no laws. He was trespassing. You access his ID. Okay, let me tell you something. I got stopped by a cop one time, right? And I thought this is the dumbest thing in the world. And I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. But was you in the Conway? I was sitting there. I'm sorry. I got stopped. He said I went through. He said it was a rolling stop through a stop sign or something like that or whatever.
Oh, I've gotten hit with that too.
And I was like, okay. I was like, all right. Well, that's fine. Cool. Here's my ID. Whatever. Right. I stopped, but okay, fine. Whatever. Just give my ticket. My mother's in the back of the car. My mother's in the back of the car. He said, well, can I see your ID, ma'am? I said, what you need to see your ID
Yes,
for?
I was in the car.
I said, what you need to see your ID for? He was like, because I'm required to. No, you're not. Don't play with me. No, you're not. You don't have to see her ID. Why do you have to see her ID? She's in the back. Chilling.
Right, she's not driving.
Obeying all the rules. Seatbelt on, chilling, quiet, ain't doing nothing. My mother's 60-some years old. What is she going to do? Jump out of the car and start running? No, she not. She not. So what you need to say ID for? So this is what he said. Well, you giving me so many problems. I was going to let you go with a warning, but now I'm going to give you a ticket. I don't give a fuck. Give me a ticket. But you're not going to see her ID for what? She don't. My aunt was in the car. Let me see her ID. She don't even have an ID. She's a convicted felon. Not to say she can't get an ID, but she didn't have one at the time. She wasn't required to have one because, you know what I'm saying? Like, she can get an ID for certain things, but, like, she didn't need it at the time. My mother's ID, her license was expired because she had just came from Georgia. Well, she been here from Georgia, but she didn't want to do all the stuff to change her license. So, whatever. But why do you have to see her ID? He didn't give me no good reason, so I'm not going to let you see it. We're not going to do that. So he got pissed because I knew that you know what I'm saying? Like, you need a real reason. She wasn't causing no trouble. She wasn't smoking. She wasn't doing anything. So what you need an ID for? You got mine. Write me the ticket. Let me go about my business. Or don't write me a ticket. Give my shit back and let me go about my business. One or the other.
Either way, let him go.
Either way, let me go about my business. And he got mad. That was exact words. What you tell you? His exact words was, "Oh, I was gonna let you go with a warning, but now you give me such a hard time. I'm gonna give you a ticket. Give me the fucking ticket, then, nigga.
You was gonna give me the ticket anyway, so just.
I don't give a fuck.
Let's not
Give me
play
the
these
ticket.
games. Just give me my ticket. So
I can care less about what you about to do right now. You give me the little $10, $12, $25 ticket. I'll pay the shit. But you're not gonna see IDs that you don't need to see.
Right.
I think they even might have asked for yours.
Asked for mine,
And he
too.
was underage, I think, at the time, or some shit like that.
Yep.
Like, come on, dog. You don't
Oh.
need to see this shit.
Speaking of underage, I told you about that time.
That shit,
That-
it just bothered me. But see, I'm sorry, it just bothered me. And see, this is the shit that it opens up. Like, now, you know what I'm saying? Like, now, somebody stops a car like that or whatever, and he might try to, well, get out and blah, blah, and let me take you to jail. Like, what for? Did you read the rights? Did you tell me what I'm doing? Like, they don't have no responsibility now to do it. They don't have no responsibility now. You're supposed to be responsible for that shit. You're supposed to be responsible for reading people your Miranda rights. It's part of the
That's
law.
part of the
It's
process.
supposed to be the whole process, right? So now you can just take me in because I matched the description of some nigga with a whole rack of hair and a beard. But because I got a beard with no hair, you gonna still take me in because I'm matched.
I know
Because you
already-
just want me off the street or whatever.
Well, I already told you what happened to Will. So,
Yeah.
I
I mean, but it's just too much right now. It's just too much. Like shit. What? Like I said, what's next? The guy, the senator that said, what's the Peggy versus what is the joke?
let's do Brown versus Board of Education.
Yeah, it was like it was the Peggy versus somebody first.
Plessy versus
Plessy. I said Peggy. Plessy versus who?
Plessy Ferguson and then
Plessy
Brown
versus
the
Ferguson
Board of
and
Education.
Brown versus Board of Education, which understandably, I heard it was two separate cases,
Yes, it
and
was.
they don't really relate in the same kind of precedence. They don't precede each other, right? It was one, it was equal but separate, and the other one was equal
Period.
together, right? So you can't use one for the other. So now you talking about you want to just change, or you want to go back to voting on Brown versus Board of Education because that's what you want to do.
Because they've been trying to.
So now you want to
get
separate
rid
us.
of affirmative action for years.
Man, it's just, oh Lord, have mercy, it's crazy.
I'm saying
Even though
they open.
even though they benefit the most from affirmative action, but we ain't even gonna go there.
They just don't know. They don't even know how to sometimes. They think we do it all the time, but they don't. I think a lot of the people don't really know how to. Go to HBCU. You be affirmative action in that show. I mean, seriously, I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've seen it. Morgan, I've seen it. Matter of fact, it was one dude. It was funny because we sat there in my fraternity. We sat there, and one of the old school dudes, was a white dude, and we just kept looking like, how the fuck did he get in? Literally, and how the fuck did he get in? He was listen, coolest dude on the planet, but we just was like when we first crossed, we was like, how the fuck did that happen? Remember that like shit? He got into the school, he pledged, he did his thing. You know what I'm saying? But he did his thing and he made it and it was cool, but like it was just like for real though, like you know what I'm saying? But
y'all could have done it.
and he said affirmative action, he wanted to go to Morgan. That's how you know what I'm saying? Like seriously, like you know what I'm saying? But it's just
it ain't our fault that y'all don't take advantage. Y'all
it's
could
just
do it
saying,
too.
like that's just but
Yeah, because y'all can come into the hood too. You know,
mm-hmm.
live there instead of trying to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
They know
I
that.
don't think they want to do that, but I don't know if they really want to do that, but they can.
You know.
They can. They got stuff for them too, right? So but yeah, that Miranda rights thing is tough, man.
Yeah, no, they really.
It just
That
opens
really
up the
got
doors
up.
for so much more to happen. And like you said, the floodgates are open now.
Yes, and you can't close them because these are lifetime appointments, which is why it was so important for our pink hat wearing brethren to do what they were supposed to do, and they did not.
Stop taking elections like it's a joke. Like people thought that mess was amusing voting for that man. Oh, ha ha ha! It's funny. It's a joke. Like it was. There were so many posts around that time. Oh, this will be so funny to have a reality TV star. Are you out your raggedy mind?
Dog, it's so crazy how they doing the stuff now with the coup, the insurrection and stuff. They got people talking and stuff like that. Doing it.
Oh, you talking about the act of domestic terrorism?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that Joe. They don't want to call it that, but yeah.
You terrorists.
That and actually, it's crazy because my man here was involved. I mean, like not involved, but he had to be locked down for how long?
3 hours, 3 plus. Well, no, hold on. So it was a total of like, I think it was like 7 hours.
He was in the building.
I was
In the Capitol?
Yeah.
He was in the building.
Okay, so
I
one of my friends actually works in the Capitol, but she was off that day because they were doing some sort of like abbreviated schedule. They were in a couple of days, out a couple of days.
Yeah. It was
My ex was there.
So that was her off day. So I was like, are you okay? And she was like,
did you
oh
hope he
yeah,
got caught up in the?
So he's like he's one of those hey big heads. So it happened, and he left. But I guess he thinks that because he experienced that, I'm gonna pick up the phone. This is not gonna happen. I'm gonna pray for you, but
Damn!
peace be unto you.
and also with you.
They changed and with your spirit.
Oh, is that what it is now? Okay,
With
my
your
bad.
spirit.
And also with you and with your spirit. I'm sorry.
But
With
nah,
your
like,
But
hey, I was across the street from it, but we connected.
yeah, under the ground, right?
Yeah,
Under the ground.
Yeah, we all connected. So yeah, I was stuck in an office watching the shit unfold on TV, barricaded in an office for 7 hours. Yeah, it's fun time.
That's
But they're going through this
Sometimes.
stuff, and I know
And
somebody gave a
the new
testimony
building that I
today.
work in is actually where the committee is located. So
I think
I
I
get
think I need to start writing down names, but
That's
I
crazy.
probably should. But somebody just basically said that how bad it was in the White House or being around Trump, how bad it was, how he threw tantrums, and how he just was so childish and such a kid.
walking around in his tight
And how
whities.
he used to they say he used to come in and just rip the tablecloth off of shit just to make shit fall, and he was just, yeah, he was a child. He was a child. This dude, I can't remember his name, but he was one of the guys that was close to the situation, and how the Secret Service were loyalists. A lot of the Secret Service were
Yes.
loyalists, and it made it hard to
Pastor,
conduct
Secret
business
Service guy, too.
as it's supposed to go, as far as the Secret Service is concerned. Because
Y-
not all of them were loyalists, but most of them were. So it was hard
y-
to do protection plans and all this other shit because he just wanted to do his own fucking thing. Like,
You know, you know what? The more and more I think about, and you know what? I used to, when I was younger, I used to be like, why do people think Americans are so damn stupid? And then the older I get, the more I understand why they think we're so goddamn stupid.
I didn't notice that until I went overseas. When I went overseas, I was like, yeah, these motherfuckers really think that we're stupid. But then
they really do.
they really think we're stupid. But then it's crazy because motherfuckers still won't come here.
Yeah, they do.
And I'll be like,
They'd be like, "Oh, we're coming from America is a third world country, y'all. Y'all, y'all coming from one third world country to another."
I
one."
was trying to tell someone that 2 days ago because he wanted to go on this rant. It was under somebody else's post. An attorney in Texas. He posted about something, and the guy commented about how the Constitution. He's in the army too, or retired. I can't remember. Is black guy.
Oh God.
In spite of what our issues, our Constitution is better than what he has experienced or seen in other countries. And so I said to him, I'm like, sir, you fail to understand, even though you're comparing this country to a third world country, that there are people in this country who live third world country lives
Mm-hmm.
based on this Constitution and have been doing so since it was written.
Yeah.
300 years ago by an old, out of touch white man that said
Slave owners.
that we were only 3/5 of a person and women had nothing.
Right. They be
Black men were
Like, why are we
3/5
still upholding this document?
Black
Like,
people were
why
not
not
even
just
a whole fucking person.
toss it in
Oh,
the
oh,
dumpster.
oh,
If we're supposed to be
and
focused on greater days, just
women
toss it in
with
the
nothing.
dumpster and
Women
rewrite-
with nothing.
just
Women
rewrite
with
something.
But you know what? But you know what the funniest part about that whole shit is that all these people want to quote the Constitution, but skip over the part about the separation of church and state.
Well,
They will quote everything else in the Constitution except
except that.
for that.
Except for when it's convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
only
only when it's convenient. Yeah, you're right. Only when it's convenient.
only.
There's a separation of church and state, but only when there are Muslims
Yeah.
or the Satanic Temple. They really hate them. Like,
So,
It's just, you know, I don't know what to say, man. These people are crazy.
I said what I said, damn it.
What you say?
Hold them peoples accountable, man. Hold all political and all political figures and rightfully public figures.
yep.
Hold everybody accountable, man.
Yeah, it's
Like,
at least 4
cause
criminals.
that work.
in the,
Cause that
it's at least 4 criminals in the
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. At least 4.
Oh, we know that.
oh yeah,
Criminals,
sure.
straight criminals.
Straight up. But my thing is like
we had
Because
a
of who
terrorist
they
in
know,
the
what
White
they
House,
know.
In my opinion.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
A whole Russian informant. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
currently.
No,
No.
Oh,
we had 2016 to 2020, whatever.
Oh yeah.
A Russian sympathizer.
Mm-hmm.
But
Because he wanted to build a hotel over there.
He still do probably.
I think
Probably wants to live there.
did y'all know that Floyd bought the Trump Tower here?
I did not.
Yeah, it's no longer the Trump Tower down there by what's that?
He put that
Reagan
elevate-
building
he put
over
that,
in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's good.
Floyd is a part of a group of men that bought that building. So shout out to you, Floyd. Appreciate you.
Okay, just change the name. I might go there.
Yeah, so it was.
You done?
I'm just thankful.
But you had a thought.
I did, but then I was like, oh.
Yeah, I'm thankful for. But nah, we just gotta continue to hold them peoples accountable, man. Like it's too.
But that's the thing, we don't.
It's too.
We haven't.
See,
We don't, and we haven't.
So I can't remember which case it was. I think it was the Aubrey case down in Georgia, where they actually convicted the officer, or convicted the dude for shooting Aubrey.
Oh
But,
yeah, they convicted that, but they weren't officers though. They were just random
regular
white people.
Oh yeah, it was just random.
I mean, even still though.
But that's like-
they're now public figures because
But did you
of
hear-
the
what was
status
it?
of the
So,
case and shit.
I don't think I
But-
don't think I remember following it. I mean, I ain't follow it to the end, but like,
convict them, but they got to start serving time too.
Yeah.
Like
The
fuck a
dude-
little.
did y'all hear about the
Nickel and
person a
dime,
couple
Yeah,
years ago?
they threw the book at their ass, and I was so happy.
Did
They
you hear
got-
about the
that's what
person
they
a
need to
couple
start
years ago
doing.
that was at the gas station, and somebody just is, I think it was in Texas or somewhere, and
They were playing music loud.
they were playing music too loud. And they got shot because
Yeah.
somebody over here decided that that music that they were playing was a problem, and they didn't want to.
Yeah,
didn't
but I
wanna
think
hear it or
I
some
think he
shit.
got life too.
Yeah, but he went and shot the dude because he's playing his music too loud. He didn't
Yeah.
like his music.
But here's the thing though. But I think a lot of this shit would not happen without video, and that's problematic to me.
Oh, come on.
But
now,
even with
come
the
on now.
video, they still say you don't know the backstory of what happened before the cameras came on. Like, motherfucker, you see what the fuck happened. Like, this is clearly murder.
Listen, so
And
so
you
nothing
still won't convict this
constitutes-
motherfucker.
nothing in my eyes constitutes somebody shooting somebody because the music's too loud,
No.
or pulling somebody out, Rodney King pulling somebody out the jump, pulling Rodney out the truck and start beating on him like he was goddamn,
Right.
like he was fucking Incredible Hulk. Like nigga, he's small and you.
Like, where
it's eight-
were you when
it's
Rodney
18.
King was getting beat up in your neighborhood?
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, so you're right. I think a lot of this stuff, it's hard. It's still even with George Floyd with it was we.
If there was
Why
no
is there
video,
even a
they would've
trial
got
for that?
him.
Like it was.
Well, you have to have due process.
I guess you're right, but
regardless.
still, it's like it was just so hard to. It was, so, and we. It's so sad that we had to be so happy about that verdict when it should have just been something normal. You know what I'm saying? Like it should have just been a normal thing for them to get convicted and go to jail, or the dude to get because he killed a person in cold blood. He killed him, and we had to be. I don't get me wrong. I'm grateful that he did that. He had to. He certain that he has to go where he need to go, but it's
Put that motherfucker in general population.
it's hard. Yeah, put that motherfucker.
You
in jail
already know he
population.
in solitary.
But it's hard to watch these things
Bitch.
and still wonder if these people are going to serve this time.
because
Or
90% of the
they
time they do
deserve
not.
to.
Like you
Because
have
if it wasn't a video, then what we
House
gonna do? What we
arrest.
talking about?
because you got to do something. You got to do something
Slap on the wrist?
egregious, and people have to see you doing something egregious.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it wasn't on video, then what? You understand what I'm saying? Like, do you get a slap on the wrist?
You don't get
Do we
convicted.
get what?
He
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he gets
they
a
can make
service
up
package
anything and
from
say,
the
well,
force.
and then another
he
and
didn't
then
do
another
that.
thing also is
he wasn't there before.
I feel like when stuff like that happens, you should not be allowed to resign with your full pension. You should be fired. And also, I feel like that should go as a mark on your record so other people don't hire you. Because what happens often is officers will get convicted of misconduct in one jurisdiction, and then they just go
They don't
and
care.
apply it to another jurisdiction. They just go on to hire
I
them.
don't care if it's on your record. They don't care.
See?
Because it's not like they're ignorant of the fact that something happened,
Right.
especially
No.
if it's in the news. And then, the law enforcement community is so tight knit from I would say county to county or municipality, what have you. Like everybody pretty much knows who is doing what and with whom, you know. So a lot of things aren't a secret, you know. It's just on how the wind blows, pretty much.
So what's next? That's the thing that's scarier. Like the next,
What? Four more cases.
The next couple of years, man. I'm serious, dog. It's gonna be because right now they got momentum, and it's just gonna push over into some other shit. And I just see it coming, man.
But see, the only thing that's gonna
hold up in with some guns, because it's coming. I'm telling you.
The only thing that's gonna slow momentum is people actually like. But see, the problem is I can't even say that slowing momentum will be people actually voting, because these motherfuckers have gerrymandered the shit out of jurisdictions. And as what happened in Louisiana, where several federal judges was like, you can't do this because this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, you're trying to cut the black vote, particularly, down from like 40% to like 13. And they took it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court said, yeah, that's perfectly fine. So now, in Louisiana,
it's politics in the Supreme Court. It's not about.
Are in trouble.
That shit's crazy, man. Like I said,
they're making it illegal to bring like water to people that are standing in line to vote. It's so dumb. Like, this is a third world country, bro. Like,
if you don't see the setup already for the next election, I don't know what to tell you. If you do not see the setup,
it's a setup. Oh, they setting up real bad, man. It's going crazy.
I gotta go to my mama's house.
If you do not see the setup, like,
I gotta go pick up my partner and them. Keep that shit over there with y'all, man. I'm telling you.
But wild gun control is like just free. I might as well just go ahead on and add to my collection.
But while we here, while we can get them, we might as well get them, because I'm telling you.
But you know what? If too many, us apply for it, then they gonna.
You don't think so?
No,
I think so, dog.
We not the ones that's doing all this dumbass.
I understand that, but
you gotta look at the numbers over the past 2 years.
You can look back further than that, but go ahead.
No, I'm just saying over the past 2 years, specifically the past 2 years, black gun ownership.
I ain't gonna let you go with that specifically, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's why. My tooth still fucked up. The number of the number in black gun ownership has damn near, like, I can't even say triple. Like, that shit is damn near quadruple. You know what I'm saying?
And it's gonna keep going up, because I gotta protect myself.
Once it goes up,
and they still haven't done it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they're not going to, because
they're not going to.
The thing about the black community is we're so concentrated within. We're all still segregated, so we just basically killing each other. Right. It's not like we crossing the line into somebody else's neighborhood and doing the complete opposite. So as long as we killing each other,
they don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And when are we ever going to stop killing us?
Yeah, and we're not a majority.
And I saw some shit on. I saw some shit out in Chicago.
Everybody kills themselves.
Well, it was
talking about people out in Chicago saying that these gray people are putting on like silicone black masks and going into the hood and killing people.
Oh yeah, they probably are, because there have been several instances where on like CCTV. It'll be a white dude with a black dude mask on, like doing fuck shit.
Yeah, like covered
up.
And
then what happens is they go and look for a black dude that fits this description. That's not even a black guy that's doing it.
Right.
But yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
these motherfuckers is creative, bro.
I just wanted to piggyback on what Simon said about.
That's okay. I'm gonna keep adding to my collection.
Us killing each other, because I don't know if anybody noticed, but I just found out yesterday that a young girl who just graduated got hit by a straight bullet in D.C. Sunday. She was a teammate of my daughter.
Mm.
That's what she was. Remember, we was talking the other day, and I said the girl texted me about it. I found out when my daughter found out what happened. Well, I mean, she never cheered on the same team with her, but they were part of the same organization. And she just graduated, and she was going over. She was going to North Carolina Central, one of them North Carolina colleges. She had a bright future. She's 18 years old. She was just sitting in the car waiting for her friends after a party, just waiting for her friends to come out and get in the car. And a drive-by shooting, and she got hit in the head. And now she's gone because it's just, like you said, just senseless violence in our own neighborhoods. And it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy to think about shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it could be any, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think about it, and I'm like, that could have been my daughter, even though I hope she don't never be in D.C., but still, seriously, like, you know what I'm saying? She goes out, you know what I'm saying? She goes out with her friends and has good time. She just went to the movies with her friends, and that shit can happen. And
Anywhere.
it's just difficult to think about this girl. She just graduated.
But see, you know what? That's why it's so like it should not be this stressful to just let kids have fun. Like every time my son leaves the house to do anything, I'm always like on edge until he gets back, and it should not be that way.
It shouldn't be that way.
Because it's so much stuff. Because like like I don't know, I didn't tell y'all, but he knows. So my mother was in the hospital. I had to go up in the hospital and act a fucking fool because they were not doing what they were supposed to do. But then my son was like, okay, I'm going to go sit in the car. Fine. Go sit in the car. You ain't got nothing to do with this in the first place. I go to the car. He's not there. I'm like, where the fuck is he at? I bend the corner. He's in handcuffs. Why is he in handcuffs? Someone was admitted to the hospital. Mind you, my son is 15 at the time. So someone was admitted to the hospital. She said her boyfriend beat her up. 25, dreads. About 5'9", but 180 pounds. My son is 15.
6 feet.
6 feet.
No dreads.
Not only does he not have dreads, but his hair he has like hair now. His hair was shorter than it is now, which means he damn near had a Caesar.
For y'all that don't know the season, I'm not gonna do that, but yeah. It should, I mean.
So I've been in the corner. He's like in handcuffs. I said, I said, what the fuck is going on here? And then so the one police officer was like, well, why would you run? He was like, you started chasing me. And then I was like, oh, this is what this is going to be. I said, y'all better let my fucking son go right now. I was like, I'm about to go to jail. That's what's about to happen. But there was this one short, she's probably like my height, this Hispanic officer. And she was like, are you his mom? I said, yeah. She said, see, she was like, how old is he? I said, he's 15. And then she's like, see, I told them. She's like, y'all gotta let him go, blah, blah, blah. And then so she would just tell him, she's like, listen. She was like, please don't run because, this could have ended badly. She was like, it's cops that, like, will shoot you for running. And they got so mad at her. They were pissed.
But it's the truth.
They were like, well, why would you tell him we would have shot him?
Because
said,
it's true.
Because you would have.
She said, because you would have shot him. That's why. She was like, she was like, I know y'all understand, but this is like what his everyday life is like. Like, this could happen to him for no reason.
And that's crazy because, like, I tell my daughter, she got a little boyfriend now, and I told her, and she can't. The problem is she can't understand my point of view right now, and I get it. And I told her, you're not going anywhere until I meet this dude. Period. And now that Severance gave me the idea, I don't know if I want you to go anywhere before I meet your parents. You understand what I'm saying? Because not only that, like, I gotta entrust you to a nigga that I don't know at all. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does in the streets. I don't know where he goes. I don't know how he treats anybody. And I gotta let you go off with this dude or wherever you're gonna go. And he might be some nigga that just don't think about shit. or just pop off, or just want to get in trouble, or whatever the case may be. And you get my little girl involved, and she can't understand why me, her godfather, her uncles, her uncle cousin need to talk to this dude and figure out who the fuck he is, and figure out that and it's funny because movies is so funny. You learn a lot of shit from movies, or you hear a lot of shit from movies, but then you relate them to real life, and that shit is true. On Den of Thieves, the guy came over, 50 came up, Joe. He said he brought him into the weight room in the garage where all his big nigga friends was there, and he said, for all my life, I've been entrusted with my daughter's safety solely, and now I gotta trust you with her life. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's real. Like, that's some real shit. Like, I gotta meet this young man, look him in the eye, and trust him to take my daughter out for a few hours in this world where a young black man in the first place is not really safe. And now you're talking about you taking out my daughter?
But see, that's why I was insistent when Will said he had a date. I was like, I have to meet her parents.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, you don't need. I'm the one to take her out. You don't need to be. I said no because I know. I personally, I said you're a 6'1", like 190-pound male,
black man,
and I wouldn't let you go out with nobody who I hadn't met their parents or I didn't know who their parents were. Mm-hmm. If I had a daughter, she wouldn't have a snowball chance in hell if I didn't meet your parents. So yes, I am going to meet her parents. And I did. She's a very sweet girl.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like,
her parents are really nice.
And like my daughter said, she's
I'm
worried.
A sweet girl too.
Wow. Wow. Say that. And I gotta make sure that so I gotta make sure this shit is real. Like,
and no, I definitely get it.
Because maybe
me. If you
me growing up, I don't know.
If you ever want, Will to magically end up in the same place, you just gotta let me know, and then
magically we might all end up in the same fucking place.
It can magically be a double date.
It can magically be a triple homicide too. Now,
he did not
say
that. He did not say that on YouTube. Please edit that out.
I'm just joking. It's not what it is. I am not playing. I am playing.
Look, I said I had to talk about my stuff. I still got a theory.
But I just gotta trust this dude, man, and she don't understand that.
What is that?
She just don't understand that. This my song right here.
Shimmy.
This my song right here. I ain't gonna sing for y'all.
Thank the Lord.
Watch your mouth. So, but it's just that she don't understand, and she's so worried about him meeting me and her stepfather and her godfather and all at one time. But see, here's the thing. I feel like you gotta throw a nigga in the fire to see what he's all about, right? He gonna be in the fire. And if he can't handle it well, then why am I let you take out my daughter when you gonna be, if you get involved in cops or whoever else?
Okay, but you can't Mike Lowry him though.
I don't give a fuck.
Every last guy who met my daddy ran away.
See?
No, my daddy problem.
His daddy problem. So she might have to be my problem because I just ain't gonna let her just be like out there shimmying in the wind. You know what I'm saying?
Shimmying in the wind.
You know what I'm saying? Just like but anyway, listen.
I already told you. Just let me know where I need to end up on accident.
Like I said, we all might end up there on accident.
No, you can't end up there because it's gonna be obvious. I can end up there.
I might not be, but I got a light skinned friend over there that might end up in the same place.
Okay, that's fine, but you can't.
I don't know. I got a couple light skinned friends that might end up in the same place. Anyway, listen. It's about our time.
Oh, I gotta do my black fact.
Oh, we got a black fact for y'all.
Yeah, so
we're gonna try to do these every show or every other show.
Because it's Black History every day.
Okay, there she go.
Black History is being made, and it's not just the month of February.
Oh man,
we get some Harvey toes. So I'm saying, go ahead, we got it. We would like to, but honestly, I would like to for everybody to try. We can get a black fact in.
It's not going to be a long one. Okay. Shout out to Stokely Carmichael, the freedom fighter. It's his birthday today.
Sweet.
So shout
Okay.
out to Stokely Carmichael.
Happy birthday, Stokely.
Gang.
Happy birthday,
Gang, gang,
Stokely.
Stokely. Yes, sir. So, it's about
Free
that
Ghana.
time. Free Ghana. Rhea?
Free Young Thug.
That's what we doing now?
Oh, free Ghana. I thought you said Ghana, like Rhea.
What in the
Let's
goddamn hell is going on?
Let's not free gonorrhea.
Yes, that's not.
Even
The
though,
way he said I gotta go.
even though these red states may want to free it, but
Yeah.
let's
Oh,
not
these
free
red
it.
states definitely they about to free
But,
Ghana. They about to free a whole lot more than Ghana.
Listen, that's our time, man. We appreciate y'all listening to us, and we will see y'all in about a week or so, man. We'll be back, and we'll be talking about
He
something
done
else.
dipped up for real.
Yeah, Wink out. He said he got to go. He was like, that was it. After that gonorrhea comment, he had to go. So thank y'all for tuning in. If y'all tuned in, make sure you subscribe, like, and share for the YouTube page. Tell your friends about it. Yes, sir. Thanks, my man.
Send me a
Oh, Hanley in the
donation.
building. That's what I'm talking about.
Thank you.
All right, Hanley, you gotta make sure your everybody look at this shit, man. Make sure to check
Send
it
me a
out.
donation.
Send her a donation. All right, we're not gonna do that. We're not doing that.
Why not?
We're not setting up GoFundMe pages, okay?
Don't gotta be GoFundMe. It could just be direct to my.
And we out. We appreciate y'all. Thank you. Oh, Wink back. He had to come back for the outro.
Can I talk my shit?
Oh, that
Sure I
shit.
can.
Oh, that
Nobody
shit.
gonna do nothing about it.
Talk that shit. Talk that shit. Talk that shit.
Tell the way I stack my money. Something else. Nah, I ain't one of them dummies. Something else. Trades, nicks, dimes, and 20s. Something else. The way I get it in with the honeys. Something else.
You are now tuned in to the Talk Your Shit podcast.